Few fictional redemptions have sparked as much debate as that of Anakin Skywalker, better known as Darth Vader. Once the prophesied chosen one destined to bring balance to the Force, Anakin's fall into the darkness unleashed a wave of destruction across the entire galaxy. And yet, in his final moments, he turned against the Emperor Palpatine to save his son, Luke Skywalker, and was redeemed in the eyes of the Force. But was that single act of love truly enough to atone for a lifetime of cruelty? Or was the Force too quick to forgive a man who had committed unthinkable horrors? Any conversation about Anakin's redemption must begin with his staggering weight of crimes. As Darth Vader, he was not merely a tool of the Empire, he was its enforcer, its executioner, and often its most willing monster. In Revenge of the Sith, his descent began with the slaughter of Jedi younglings in the temple, children who ran to him for help. He followed that act by massacring the separatist leaders, many of whom were misled and begged for their lives, as he struck them all down. His cruelty wasn't limited to wartime atrocities. In Obi-Wan Kenobi the show, we see Vader deliberately dragging his former master Obi-Wan Kenobi through fire, mirroring his own fate on Mustafar, not out of strategy, but spite. In the same series, he snapped the neck of a young child in front of their father, a death so casual it barely registers with him himself. This wasn't war, it wasn't vengeance. It was annihilation for its own sake. He even choked his pregnant wife Padme after she professed her love for him, a moment of personal and emotional violence that sealed his fate as a Sith. In Rogue One, Vader carved through a hallway of desperate rebels like a force of nature, killing not to defend but to destroy. His presence at the destruction of Alderaan, watching impassively as an entire planet and its people was obliterated, further cements his role as one of the galaxy's most greatest villains. Given those horrors, many fans argued that Anakin's redemption came far too easily. His turn back to the light side in Return of the Jedi consists of a single act, saving his son from the Emperor and killing Palpatine. Noble, yes, but is a single act, a single choice enough to undo a lifetime of slaughter? Unlike Zuko from Avatar, or even to a smaller extent Kylo Ren in Star Wars sequels, Anakin does not go or undergo a long path of remorse, struggle, or transformation. Or at least he doesn't on screen. His remorse and struggle is shown more in the comics and legend material. There is no apology to those he's harmed. There is no resistance against his dark nature. No personal reckoning until the moment it directly threatens someone he loves. For many, this feels less like a redemption and more like a loophole, a last-second pivot that earns him sainthood in the eyes of the Force, with minimal narrative effort. But does fiction, especially Star Wars, owe us more moral complexity than that? After all, Anakin's evil wasn't abstract. He slaughtered children, he committed genocide, he tortured innocents. Can all that be undone so easily? And yet, the Star Wars saga has always been centered around one powerful theme, the theme of choice. Anakin chose evil, yes, but he also chose to reject it. That moment of self-sacrifice wasn't small. It meant throwing away decades of hate, power, and identity. It meant dying, not as a Sith, but as a father. More importantly, Luke's belief in Anakin's goodness wasn't based on denial, it was based on love. Luke saw the humanity no one else could, and in the end, Anakin rose to meet that vision. It's not the galaxy that forgives Anakin, no, not in the slightest. It's Luke. It's the son, the boy who never gave up on him, who redeems him through faith and compassion. In fact, in the books, it's shown quite clearly that Vader is still viewed as Satan incarnate. In a universe where darkness often wins, the message carries weight. In Legends material, Anakin's Force Ghost even seeks redemption. He pleads with Leia for forgiveness. He helps Luke save others from the dark side. He appears on Mustafar to aid the innocent. His afterlife is one of atonement, not triumph. These stories extend the emotional and moral reckoning that Return of the Jedi only hinted at. Even in canon, Anakin's presence as a Force Ghost alongside Obi-Wan and Yoda isn't presented as a reward. It's a symbol that no one, no matter how far they've fallen, is beyond saving. The Jedi failed Anakin. Anakin failed himself. But in the end, he still made the right choice. And sometimes, that's all we can ask of anyone. So, was Anakin's redemption too easy? Perhaps. If we weigh his actions on a scale of justice, the answer leans heavily toward yes. The crimes are too many, the remorse too brief. But Star Wars isn't a story about justice. It's a story about hope, forgiveness, and the enduring power of love. Anakin Skywalker's redemption isn't a legal pardon, it's a spiritual one. like the thief on the cross, a final act of light in a world consumed by darkness. Whether that is enough will always be up for debate. And maybe that's the point. Because in the end, redemption isn't about erasing the past. It's about choosing to stop the cycle and making the future better. Anyway, that is my Star Wars video. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. And if you did like it, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, please like and subscribe. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. God bless. And may the Force be with you. More importantly, may Christ be with you. May Christ be with you. Good night. Goodbye. God bless.